Good morning. Well, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I had planned to sleep in at least another hour, but there's just too much things going on upstairs that I just couldn't sleep anymore. So here it is. It's dark outside. If you saw one of my earlier videos a few weeks ago, I was on my way to Austin, Texas to check out the viability of the analog room in the project to make sure it was a good fit for us. And yes, indeed it was. So today is day one. I'm going to call this series Building the First Room. So today the plan is I'll be flying out of Merida in Mexico, landing in Houston, and then hopping over to Austin. So we shouldn't have much of a glitch here at the airport in Merida. I'll get there probably 2 hours in advance. The question mark is in Houston. I understand there's a lot of TSA agents who aren't showing up for work because of the government shutdown and they haven't been getting paid. So that could lead to super long lines at security. I've got about an hour and 50-minute layover in Houston, which is typically more than enough time to get through. When you come in internationally, you have to pick up your bag and then check it back in and then go back again through security. So we'll see what happens when I get there with that. No big deal if I don't make the flight. There's 2 or 3 more flights out of Houston to Austin later in the day. So we'll just kind of go with the flow. I do have a few tours set up for apartments, so I want to secure my living situation when I get there. So I will arrive in Austin. If everything goes smoothly, I'll pick up the rental car and then drive immediately and check out one of 3 or 4 different apartment complexes. Hopefully one of those works and I can sign a lease either tonight or tomorrow morning and kind of check off that box. So welcome to the journey. Thanks for coming along with me. This is going to be quite an adventure, I think. So this is building the first analog room. Let's go analog. All right, now this is definitely sacrilege, but it's too early in the morning. I don't want to fire up the grinder because I don't want to wake up the family. Not enough time to do a French press or the Chemex, so this is going to have to suffice for today, until I get to the airport at least. That's brutal. So before a day of flight, I like to always make sure I'm well hydrated, so big cups of water. So I want to make sure that I'm getting some good protein to start the day. It's going to be a long travel day, so I'm not sure what kind of good options I'm going to have. So I'll just have some Greek yogurt, and I have some Asian marinated pork loin that I'll start the travel day off with.
All right, guys. Well, as expected, this was a monster travel day. I got up at 3 in the morning, as you saw. Ubered to the Merida airport, which was busier than usual, but still no big deal. I love that airport because it's so chill. You get in and out of security. You get through immigration so fast. And then you basically have an hour and a half to kind of wait around. So, smooth travels until we get to Houston. We land in Houston about 20 minutes early, which is fantastic. I'm thinking, piece of cake, I'm going to make my connection, which is, now I've got just over 2 hours to make the connection, no problem. And then we end up sitting on the tarmac for probably 30 minutes because there was another airplane docked in our gate or whatever. It pulled out and then had to pull back in. So now I lose whatever advantage I had going into it, and now I'm behind schedule. So I book out of there. Thankfully, the super nice representative at United gave me an upgrade, so I was more towards the front of the plane. So I book out of there, grab my bags, and if you've ever flown out of international in United in Houston, you have to collect your bag there and then go recheck it and then go through security again. So I'm very familiar with the process. I've done it a million times. Collect the bag, go check it back in, and then the security line starts. Now, granted, the security line never started there. You had to go upstairs and walk a mile before you would get to the security line. So now I'm thinking, we have a problem here. Lines are like Disneyland. They wrap around and around and around. Eventually get upstairs after, at least an hour waiting downstairs, get upstairs, and then it's another Disneyland. So at this point, it's like, there's no chance of making this plane. No big deal. There's 4 or 5 planes that leave from Houston to Austin later in the afternoon. I'll go to the lounge, I'll have a beer, I'll chill out, whatever. Miraculously, when I get to the front of the line, 2 new TSA checkpoints open up, and we're filtered right through those. And by the way, shout out to all the TSA agents who are showing up to work. I made it a point to thank each and every one of them today. They're not getting paid. I don't think they've been paid for a couple weeks, and they're still out there working. And people are grumpy, and so kudos to them. And they were moving the line, pretty quickly. So now my plane is supposed to leave to Austin at 12:10. It's about 12:10, and I thought, I might as well give it a shot, right? There's a chance it could be delayed. So I start booking it. Turns out it's about the furthest gate possible from the security checkpoint. Of course it is. I end up running on these horrible hips. Somehow, they felt okay. Ask me tomorrow. I'm going to take my anti-inflammatories because my hips aren't going to be feeling good after those little jogs today. I'm running, and then I see this angel of a representative from United at the end of the terminal, waving people on, saying, come on, you can make it. Everyone's scrambling, granted. Everyone in the airport is scrambling around because everyone's missing flights because everyone's delayed. So I'm following this angel, beckoning me, let's go, come on, you can make it. So I go there, and she goes, Los Angeles? And I go, no. No, I'm going to Austin. My flight left 5 minutes ago. And she goes, oh, no, Austin's over there. I go, what? So I run over there, and sure enough, someone on the flight crew didn't show up. So I got on. Unbelievable. Miracle of miracles. And then we proceeded to sit there for 45 minutes waiting for another staff member to get on board. I'm not complaining. I made my flight. Oh man, this is a super long story, and I'm making it even longer. So land in Austin. By the way, a lot of turbulence going from Houston to Austin. Every time I've come here, it's not pleasant. Anyway, long line at the rental car place causes me. So the order of the day was to get the rental car, go look at some apartments that I might be able to rent for personal use while I'm setting up the business here in Austin. I pretty much missed all of those appointments, so I just kind of wander in And I check out 3 different complexes, and I'll run the videos here. All looking really like fine places to crash at. I'm just looking for something that's close to the analog room, something that has amenities like a gym, so I don't have to try to schlep over to a gym. Something that has some co-working spaces that I can kind of get out of the apartment and work at as the analog room is getting set up. So that's that. I found a really good place. I'm going to try to sign a lease tomorrow, I hope. And so then I checked into this cute little casita Airbnb, which is where I'm at now. And it's really kind of cute. How do I flip this around here? It's a cute, tiny, I mean, it's a tiny casita, but it's perfect for my needs. And so I'll be here for about 3 nights, and then figure out kind of where to crash at that point while the apartment isn't available for 4 or 5 more days, and I'll need to get it furnished. So that's the update, guys. If any of you out there are travelers, you know what's happening right now at the airports. It is not pleasant. I don't love it, but I'm here now in Austin. I'm motivated. I'm excited. I've told numerous people about my plans on the way over here. Everyone seems to be abuzz. Everyone seems to like the idea. Everyone resonates with it, and hopefully that's why you're watching. Let's maybe finish the video here. But at that point, maybe turn off your device and go analog for 30 minutes to an hour. Read a book. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later when I've got something else to update you on. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.